Hello, welcome to the channel Bentley's Minis. Okay, if you remember, last time we were talking about young birds, was some months ago. Now we're going to talk about the darkness or darkening the youngsters. Uh, my youngsters, this is a young bird sheds. They are about 6 months old. They're born in January, or some of them in February. So I'm going I'm going to explain how the young bird system that the way I do it. Have a drink and fly back on the perch. So the way I do it, you see, I've got a couple of pieces of wood. 8 o'clock every morning. At 8 o'clock, I come down and I remove these things and I give them the daylight. So basically, from the day they're born, which is in January, I put them on a darkness system, and I give them enough light from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, basically 8 hours daylight they can have. By doing that, the reason behind the darkness system, the pigeons, they molt their body feathers, but not their wings. So when it comes to when it comes to September, and when we start raising the young birds, August, September, the pigeons, I'll show you. If I get a couple of them, the reason behind the darkness system is the pigeons. I'll put the lights on now. Alright. The reason behind the darkness system is we play with the time, or the clock, which is artificially. We play with the lights. By giving them 8 hours daylight, pigeons thinks it's in the winter, and they molt their body feathers, but not their wings. As you can see, this pigeon's been on a, as you can see, this pigeon is born in January, okay, and is in the feathers, the body feathers is perfect. So when it goes into the race in 2 weeks' time, he got the full wings, because the pigeons don't molt the main primary wing and secondary, so it's in a full wings, feathery, and the body molt is perfect. So, but the pigeons, the fanciers don't practice darkness system. Their pigeons go to race with no feathers on it at all. So basically, around the face, neck, head, it's got hardly any feathers. On the shoulders, got no feathers. So the pigeon will not race home at all properly. So if I show you another one, if I can catch it. Well, let's try this one. Again, got the full wings, the feathers on the head, neck, body, shoulders is perfect because they already been through the body molt. And basically pigeon things is in the winter, so they molt very quickly during the winter, and when it comes to racing season, August, September, they got the perfect body mold. I only give them 8 to 10 hours daylight. Okay, I'll pair up my bird, my stock bird, in December, and then and when the pigeons hatch, the youngsters hatch will be in February. So the pigeons born in February, they'll be ideal pigeons for racing for young birds. Because they got age on them. They're about 6 months old, and that's a perfect age for racing young birds to like 200 miles. And they become kind of adult. So as you can see, these pigeons, I put nest balls around the corners here and there, and they become more mature. So if you want to be successful in young bird racing, the young birds should have some sort of age on them. They should be 6-7 months old, and they start pairing with each other, and some of them already laid eggs, some of the hens. So that's the best way to raise young birds when they are mature enough. And as you can see over there, you remember how we put this partition?
Mm-hmm.
So later on, in a couple of weeks' time, when the racing season starts, I'll put the young birds' hens on the other side of the partition, and I'll keep the cocks on this side. And coming Friday, when it's basketing time to take them to club for a race on Saturday, I open the partition and I let them mix with each other, and the cocks and the hens, they kind of motivate each other, and then I basket them and send them to race.
Okay, so what time of the year do you start the darkness system, and what time of the year do you end the darkness system?
I start the darkness system from the day I wean them, so I separate them from their parents, and I put them here by themselves. So that's when I start the darkness system. The days in January and February are short anyway, but I still do that. Some people start darkening from March, middle of the March, but I darkening from the day I put them here. So I only give them 8 hours, maybe sometimes 9 hours daylight. So and that in manipulating the clocks, the daylight. So the pigeons thinks it's in the winter, so, and they start molting their body feathers very quickly.
Yeah, so they have a full set of feathers ready.
Yeah, but they don't molt their
wings.
primary wings, just a body molt. As you just saw earlier, they're in a perfect molt with body feathers, ready to send them to race.
So you do this until when in the year?
Well, I do this, I keep them in a darkness system until the longest day of the year, which is in June, middle of the June, 21st of June.
Yeah.
And then I start slowly give them more daylight.
Yeah.
From the day I wean them and I put them here until the longest day of the year, which is in the middle of the June.
Okay.
I practice the darkness system. Okay, and also I'll pair up my races. It's toward the end of January, the first weekend in February, and I'll pair them up. And the youngsters from my races, and when they grown up 21 days, 22 days old, I move them to the young bird sheds, and they also be joining the darkness system as well, the youngsters. I also, my widowhood cocks here, if I show you. Also my widowhood cocks, they are always in a kind of semi-darkness system as well, because that helps them to, the widowhood cocks, when they are darkened as well, they are always calm. And also they molt, their primary feathers later in the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, having them think that it will get darker quicker, will that encourage them to come home faster?
Well, when they darkened, it helps them to keep the feathers in a good condition, so they can fly better if they got full wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. And also my young birds here, they are about 6 months old now. So I start training them when they are 3 months old. If for fanciers who don't practice the darkness system, the pigeons, the primary feathers start molting very quickly. So by looking at the wings of the feathers, you can see when the second primary is done, they can start. That's about when the pigeons are 3 months old. And that's about training them. I start training them from 3 months, 3 times, then 5 months, 3 times. Then I keep going up every time from the same training 20 times. And today I'm going to take them to 15 miles because they already done all the shorter training. Okay, so I'm going to basket them, take them to about 12 miles, and I'll let them go, and hopefully they come home. Yeah, it's a bit
The first time flying so far.
yeah, from that distance, but they are already done a lot of short training tosses. So I'm going to get the basket in a minute and I start basketing them. Okay?
Okay, so we're just going to basket up some of our pigeons.
Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some old birds in this basket and take us with the young birds training, because the older ones show the younger ones the way home. It helps them, because basically I don't expect the schoolboys do the man's job basically.
Exactly.
All right. The ones show them the way home. So when I take the youngsters training, like from 10 miles or 15 miles, I take some old birds with me.
3 hands.
Yeah, so they can show the youngsters the way back home.
Okay. Go.
Okay, we are in Chichester in Tesco's car park. It's a safe place to let the pigeons go. At the moment, I've got 30 youngsters with me and a few old ones with them to show them the way back home. But next time I bring the pigeons here, there won't be any old birds with them. They have to do this by themselves. And also, this time I'll let them all go at the same time, but next time they will be in a batch of 2s. Like this time it's 30. Next time will be 15 birds at a time I'll let go, and the numbers keep going down until I send them, they can fly back home in a batch of 2s or 3s, or sometimes even 1 at a time.
How far's the distance?
At the moment it's 15 miles, but I will take them further, up to 25 to 30 miles. But this is the first time I bring them to 15 miles. I'll do this 3 times before they can go any further. Okay, so I'll take them out. All right, mine behind. The time is 25 past 1.
25 past 1.
And we time it when we get home and see how long it took them to get home. All right.
So they'll circle around a few times.
Yeah, they join together in the sky now, and hopefully they are home before we get there.
We'll see then, shall we?
Yeah. All right. So that's the first trip. They could be a bit later, but if they are home before we get there, that'd be good. That'd be miracle.
Let's see, shall we? And so it's 48 past 1. So they took just over 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And they're all here now. They've come in as a
So
group.
the time is
48.
Yeah, so that took them about 20 minutes, 23 minutes from distance of 15 miles from Chichester to Portsmouth, where and they are going straight in.
There's about, well, I've counted about 25, plus I've seen 3 go in already.
Yeah.
So they should have all come back, I think.
Some of them sitting on the other side of the... So that's good timing, isn't it? First time, 20 minutes.
about-
I said 15 minutes, a good mile a minute.
It's about 3/4.
Yeah,
of a mile
that's
a
really
minute.
good.
Good for their first time.
I'm pleased, yeah, I'm very pleased with this training class.
Just giving them some water because it's hot.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the training. And give them some fresh water. It's cooler, this water. Hopefully they'll have a drink. I mean, as you can see, there is no food on the floor. And I wait until later on, 4 o'clock, I'll feed them. And yeah, once the rest of them come in. All right.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you
Thank
made
you
it this
very
far,
much.
like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Comment your thoughts on this training, and that's the Darkness and Young Bird training explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.